Hi, I'm Brian Jackson, editor of IT World Canada, and I'm here today with Tom Lee, our chief reviewer here at IT World.
Hi.
Welcome, Tom.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be fun because we're talking today about the top 5 business smartphones of 2018.
That's we are.
Yeah, we do this roundup every year, and this year was great because I've reviewed some of these devices, and Tom, who's joined us recently, has reviewed others, and I think you're bringing a really great technical rigor to our reviews, Tom.
So, thank you very much.
We're going deep on the top 5 business smartphones. Let's get right into it for 2018. We're starting off with an honorable mention for the OnePlus 6T. So you thought this should be at least mentioned, although we didn't review it ourselves, but tell us why it's on here.
Yeah, it's too bad that we couldn't review it, but the OnePlus 6T to me is an excellent business phone. So you get the flagship specs, Snapdragon 845, 6 GB of RAM, and 120 GB of storage, as well as an AMOLED display, an in-screen fingerprint sensor for $719. So price to performance wise, excellent value.
Yeah, what this manufacturer does is really impressive. They've got all the flagship specs like the leading manufacturers. It's too bad that they don't have carrier relationships in Canada. So for some businesses that have those relationships where they provide all of their devices from a certain carrier, not really an option. But of course, a lot of places, it's bring your own device. So maybe then workers will have this shipped up to them from the US, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're getting into number 5. I think we put the BlackBerry Key2, the physical keyboard on there. So I reviewed this one, and I really liked the device, and it's on here not because it competes with these other phones from a performance point of view.
That's right.
But when you look at it, the price is a little less expensive, and that reflects the mid-tier specs that you get on this device. But I want to recognize it for a couple of reasons, because it's got that physical keyboard, and there's a certain type of user, business user, that will just never be able to get away from having those hard keys underneath their thumbs, right? And I've seen that in our newsroom here. There's some people in the IT World newsroom that love typing on that, right? And I think any sort of profession where you have to write a lot and you have to write on the go, you might want to rely on that. And you also have to consider the advanced security that BlackBerry provides on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've got that secure boot locker feature, so there's no way to tamper with the operating system. If you do, the thing just won't boot. So there's a lot of peace of mind there. And also, they push out the updates as soon as Google releases them for Android. They have that commitment that they always push the patches out as soon as Google does.
Yeah.
So that's another great feature. And the privacy that you get with that detect software that comes on the device, that's also something that keeps track of what permissions are being used and when.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You can't really mention business phone without mentioning BlackBerry. You make an excellent point on the keyboard. I myself use the BlackBerry 2 LE, which is the lighter version of the Key2. Yeah, the keyboard is fantastic. It's tactile. It feels great under my thumbs. And you make a great performance you make a great point about performance as well. It doesn't have the top range hardware, but with a power efficient processor and 3500 milliamp hour battery, this thing will run for like days.
Okay, let's go on to number 4, because this is your review, the Apple iPhone XS.
Oof.
So tell us about why it's on at number 4.
Yeah, so the Apple, Apple needs no introduction. The iPhone XS is probably one of the best iPhones ever made. I say it's the best iPhones ever made. It gets an upgraded processor, the A12 Bionic, as well as an upgraded camera sensor. Battery life is slightly longer, and you can't go wrong with Apple's UI. I mean, the gesture controls and the layout and navigation is just phenomenal. It's an excellent phone if you want to just buy it, pick up, turn it on, and just go using it. But there are some downsides too, I think you were going to mention.
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive, right? If you did a price to performance analysis, I think that the iPhone's price is a hit against it. I mean, I bought this thing so that we could review it. Thank God I was able to return it to the Apple Store 2 weeks later, because that thing took $1,500 off my credit card. And I bought the most affordable model available. So The price is a consideration. Some people are buying their own smartphones even for work,
right?
And that's why we'd consider it like this.
On top of that, you also don't get a fast charger, which is something I think Apple missed out on. $1,500 for a phone without a fast charger is just...
Yeah. Why are you making people wait to
exactly.
charge their phone?
Right.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to number 3 here. And now in the top 3, I think it was really close. So it was tight competition, but in at number 3 is the Google Pixel 3. So you reviewed the XL model,
yeah,
but you decided to put this one on the top 5 list. So why was that?
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with the Google Pixel 3 XL. I mean, besides the notch. And honestly, the pricing is a little bit ostentatious, I think. So I think that Google Pixel 3 strikes the best balance between performance and usability from the Pixel side. You get a 5.5-inch screen, which is extremely easy to use with one hand. And performance-wise, it matches a bigger Pixel 3 XL spec for spec. 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, phenomenal camera, as well as a Snapdragon 845.
Yeah, so great specs on this device, and people love that core Android experience that the Pixel offers, and I think that's why a lot of people come to it. No bloatware on this thing. In the past, the Pixel really had an advantage with the camera. Like when it was first launched, you know, they really marketed hard on having the best camera. I think it's still very good, but no longer a differentiator for the Pixel.
Yeah. I say so too. I agree with that. And you make a great point about software.
Let's get on to number 2. And in at number 2, we have the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. So I reviewed this one again. And what I want to say about this is it's just the most premium smartphone you can have. Like, it's got all the bells and whistles. It's got all the specs. And I was totally impressed when I used it for a good couple of months. Anything you could think of, any task you could complete with this, up to the point of the built-in DeX feature, which is an interesting business argument because you get the right connector, you plug this into a monitor, and you can start using it in a desktop experience. So Samsung just offers so much with this, and this year that stylus, which no other smartphone on this list has, is Bluetooth connected, which makes it more useful than ever because now you can press a button, take a picture, and they also released an SDK so that developers will be able to use this feature for more than taking selfies in the future. And I think that's really interesting, and Samsung is pushing the boundaries on and probing for some innovation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is the phone that does absolutely everything. It's big, unfortunately, and honestly, it's a little bit expensive, but for the price, you get a package that's so complete, you're not gonna find it on any other phone. I mean, we're talking about a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, 6 gigabytes of RAM, great for multitasking, and 128 gigabytes of storage, dual SIM support, and even supports an external micro SD card if you need even more. And the camera is phenomenal, and with the pen, it's so versatile.
Yeah, that storage is huge. It goes up to 512 gigabytes.
Yes, it does.
It's enormous, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not number 1.
Yeah.
It's all of these features and still not number 1. So you reviewed the top smartphone. Do you want to reveal it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, drum roll. The top smartphone this year is the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. So, you know, I honestly thought no phone could beat out the Note 9. So this choice surprised even me. So why did I choose it? First of all, you get I'd say 95% of all the features in the Note 9 in a package that's about $100 cheaper. Right now, the cheapest I could find online is about $11.99 from Rogers, no contract. You get about the same performance. So you're using Huawei's newest chip, the Kirin 980, which is constructed on the 7nm chip like I was talking about before. CPU performance, absolutely phenomenal. Graphics performance dips a little bit, but you also get 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, a huge AMOLED display, and IP68 water resistance, all that jazz. Go check out my review. I said a lot of good things about that phone on there. I loved it.
Yeah, and I've been able to use this device for the past few weeks myself. And the number one thing that puts it over the top for me in terms of performance is the camera.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the three cameras on the back. It's got the flash, it's got the front camera, but there's this AI mode that you can turn on, and it has scene detection that works really well. And I find in most situations, it does all the settings for me just right, and my photos have been totally impressive. And this is what a camera should offer on a smartphone. It should automatically detect what it needs to do. You shouldn't have to fiddle around with settings to get the effect you want. And I think that experience is important for anyone that's using a smartphone. So Huawei has seemed to really nail it with this.
And the camera, I cannot believe I didn't lead with that, but the triple camera array at the back makes the Huawei Mate 20 one of the most versatile shooters out there. You can use it to shoot anything. You get a wide angle lens, you get a telephoto lens, and you get a standard 40 megapixel lens, which takes crazy detailed photos.
Yeah, so one downside I do want to mention about the Huawei Mate 20 Pro is the bloatware that's available on this device. I mean, it comes with all the different apps from Huawei, and I really have no reason to use any of them. And even in the camera, there's this AI shopping feature where it's supposed to detect what it's seeing on the lens and tell you how to buy it. I just don't want this, and it's not even good at doing that. So, you know, these are features that I can just ignore, thankfully, but it's not great that Huawei is trying to push out this software that has no compelling reason for users to seek to actually use it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can. Most of them are easy enough to uninstall, but you know, we wish they weren't there to begin with. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
So we did it. That's the top 5 business smartphones plus an honorable mention.
Right.
Yeah, so I want to say that if you want more details about any of these devices, maybe you're looking at what to put on your Christmas list, or you're looking at what phone you're going to use in the new year when prices come down a bit, who knows? But Tom's reviews and my reviews are all on the website. We've recapped them all, and there's videos you can watch. You can go through the specs, and you can see how the benchmarking results that Tom has performed on his devices stand up. So check all of that out. Again, I'm Brian Jackson for IT World Canada, and I'm with Tom Lee.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks for watching.